Right. So I just was feeling a little tense and I was feeling a little restless, but not in a directed way that I could do anything with. So I decided I'd stop and I'd stretch because this is the thing that allows me to get grounded and centered and reset. And it's invaluable for that. But I almost forgot, excuse me, almost forgot how really critical it is to accessing emotion too. I didn't realize I was in a good mood. I'm bopping around doing my list, trying to get some things done, feeling good about the things I have ahead of me. I'm just in a really positive, mostly calm way, but there was this restlessness, this little bit of tension, and I was like, let's get up and stretch. Let's move. Let's get in the body. Let's see what happens. I started crying. I was like not sobbing or anything, but like I was overwhelmed with sadness and I just started streaming tears and I was like a sweet mournful sadness, like something I'd lost, and I don't even know where this comes from. I can let my mind get busy making up stories, but what was interesting was I wasn't even aware that I was carrying this emotional charge until I actually got up and dropped down into my body and started to move, and this energy came up, and like I don't know, the somatic force is so potent, it's so immediate, it's so indifferent to what you think. Like I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm feeling good, let me get a stretch on. It dropped me. I was so stunned just to feel this powerful emotion moving through me, and I'm very grateful. I mean, nobody really wants to feel sad, but I know when my sadness comes up and I can feel it and let it run through the system, I know that I've cleared everything out and it's fresh and ready for another round. And I like that. I like feeling that these emotional charges aren't building up inside of me and festering and coming out in weird ways. That's what I think a lot of the struggles are in life, at least as a human being. I think that's a big part of what we struggle with, is just being connected to our feelings, able to access them and work with them, and to allow them to run through the system and dissipate and leave clarity and capacity and quietude and these other things that are generally very pleasant and are good for us physically too, because if you can drop things like cortisol, your body's going to run more efficiently, you're going to feel better, you're going to have better health, you're going to be in a better mindset, which is going to help you keep all of that going. And so I like to remind myself times like these that stretching's more than a physical act. For me, it really is a meditation, and I don't follow any particular practice. I just go stand and breathe and drop into where I feel tension or pain, and I try to move with and against it until it releases, and that usually guides me to what else I need to do, where I've been like, sometimes I've been sitting too much and I need certain movement to counter that. Sometimes I've been standing too much and I need movement to counter that. It depends, but I listen to my body and it tells me what to do, and begun to have a really effective dialogue over the years of doing this. And I was so surprised by what it had to tell me today, that there was sadness in there. I wasn't even remotely aware of it. I thought I was just a little tense, and when I moved, it was just that's what came up for me, and it was so surprising, and I'm so grateful because yes, nobody wants to feel sad, but back to this point, we can access the emotion and process it in real time for what it is. It doesn't pile up and become like, I don't know, malignant, I guess. It can do that over time. It can become this massive unresolved emotional energy that just starts swirling and sparking like a tornado crossed with an electrical storm. And yeah, that's not a great place to operate from. So I'm grateful for having the surprise of sadness and being able to feel that and move it. I don't even understand it. I guess there are a number of things that could have brought it up for me, but it was just sort of hanging out there waiting to be acknowledged and dealt with, and I feel so much better. It wasn't even a particularly intensive session. It was much more a meditation than it was like physical fitness kind of thing. But I don't think there's a difference. Body and mind are so connected, and I think it's where those forces meet that if I can go there and do this kind of work there, everything else is so much easier. It's just having like a clear surface to work on. It's having the capacity to take on and process everything that's required for the moment to moment, and toward building something larger over time. It just allows a deeper sense of peace and balance that I think I think part of what is is ailing us in terms of the psychiatric distress we see has a lot to do with a lack of these things. I'm actually glad fitness culture has gotten to be such a big thing, because at least that's getting people into their body. Whether it's conscious or not, whether they're trying to do any kind of emotional processing within that or not, it's a natural byproduct of just dropping out of your mind and into your body and doing that work. And I think that's got to be helping a certain amount. Things would probably be a lot worse off if people weren't trying to hit the gym more than, say, 30 years ago. It wasn't that big a thing. Most people didn't go to the gym, but yeah, now it's more of a common thing, and people are just more fitness oriented, and I think that's really great, because I can't imagine the mental health status if we didn't have that. I'm so struck right now by the impact this one little exercise had on me. And yeah, I just wanted to capture that. So there's a little bit about mental fitness and physical fitness and the wonder that is the somatic and all the processing we can do there. Okay, till the next one.